Hey everybody. So today we're going to do something kind of interesting. So this is a sand dollar, if you've never been to Florida. And this was once a living animal and it's not anymore. So this is found in the ocean and they collect these in the winter and when they come close to shore, and then they basically clean them up and paint them, in this case by Bonnie. And I've had this probably, I don't even know how long, 30 years maybe. Picked up this a long time ago. And so what I thought I would do is I would actually take this and put it on some kind of stand. It used to have a plastic stand that it just fit in like this. And I've since lost that years and years ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out, I'm not really sure yet, but I'm going to create something to secure this to the wall and where I can just put it up, and that way I don't have to worry about it getting broken or whatever like that. So our attachment point is going to be this hole right here. So we're going to have to create something that has a base that sticks up, and then to have a post that goes in here. We'll just attach that to something, the wall or a frame or something like that, and then we'll put this on it, and that'll hold it in the air. Or not in the air, but it'll hold it steady and keep it from falling. So let's head into Fusion and let's design something up.
So here we are in Fusion, and let's draw this out. So I'm going to draw this out like you typically would draw something out. So let's just start. I got some parameters already done, so let's go through those real quick. So I have a width of a plate, and then the width of the post it's going to be on top of the plate to hold the thing, and then we have the height of the post and the height of the plate. So just basically height and width for two different components of that. So let's get this going here. So I am going to create a new sketch. I'm gonna just put it right there, and then I'm going to create a circle, and that circle is going to be plate width. Then I'm going to create another circle on top of that one, and that one is going to be post width. Going to finish the sketch, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to extrude the post first. I'm going to do that to post height. And then I've got some sketches I want to turn back on, and then I'm going to extrude the plate to plate height. And if I turn it over, that is what it looks like. Turn those off. And really all I have to do is let's do a fillet right here to give it some strength right there. Let's make it also, how about post width? That work? Yeah, I think that'll work. That's too much. Subtract 1. I don't want it. I want it to be mostly flat. Nope, still too big. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Let's just get rid of that. Let's just do a raw one. Let's just do 1 millimeter. Okay, there's that, and then I want to do a chamfer on the top there. Bar the way. Do a chamfer to 0.25 millimeters, and as well with this one, 0.25, and then also the bottom. Always chamfer your bottom at least 0.25 millimeters, and that will make it not have an edge. Oops. Work. That will make it not have an edge that's harsh, that's in like a kind of a cutting edge. So by doing that, when it sticks to the plate, it will actually be inset a bit and make it a little bit smoother, so you don't have to sand off the edge there. So that is pretty much it. That is what everybody would probably do. So let's go print this. Go turn my select back up to, select to window. Gonna go to file, 3D print, and we'll send it over to Bamboo Studio. So we're in Bamboo Studio, and as you can see, that's our part. I am just going to print this in black PLA, in my case Overture specifically, although I don't think it'll matter. And let's just slice this and see how it prints. So what do we have here? 8 minutes, that sounds about right. So let's print it, and then we'll be back to look at what we did in a few minutes.
Okay, so here we go. Here's a part. It may have changed colors because I had changed printers. That's what happened. So anyway, so here is our round thing, and here's our sand dollar again. And we just take our post, put it in the hole here, and that is it. Then you would just basically attach this with glue or a sticky of some type. Attach it to whatever you're going to, and that's fine. And for this small application, this would work perfectly. There's nothing wrong with this at all, given the amount of weight, which is very, very, very thin. The problem with this is the layer lines are going horizontally. And if you have too much force on it, you end up with this. Now, that may have happened anyway, but the idea is we want this to be as strong as possible in any application, not just for this small piece here. So again, since the lines go across, up and down, it literally just snapped in half, as you can see there. And that literally wasn't that much force. So let's go change the model just a little bit, and then we'll make this even better.
So we're back in Fusion, and this time we're going to do it a little bit differently. So instead of a circle or set of circles, we're going to use squares. And what that's going to allow us to do is to actually place it in the position you see it here, which is more or less vertical. And we couldn't do that with a circle because it would basically just fall over or need supports, neither of which we have time for. So what I did is I just created the 25 millimeter square, and then a 3.4 millimeter post that comes out. And when we're finished with that, and after we've extruded it, it looks like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to print this where this is the bottom. And that way our layer lines are going to go across the post, and that allows us to basically make it as strong as possible. Again, in this case, it's really not necessary. The idea here is you need to get used to thinking about how your print is printing and how it's being used so that you always have it oriented properly. Over half the job, I think, of designing a part is figuring out the printer orientation or print orientation. So let's take this and we'll go put it over into Fusion. 3D print, Bamboo Studio. Sorry, we're in Fusion. We're going to go to Bamboo Studio. So we're in Bamboo Studio, and this is the same orientation that we had drawn it out as. And we'll need to flip that. So what I'm going to do, I have it selected, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Lay on Face, and I'm going to choose this face. And then what that does is it's going to print it with the tall part or the plate up and the post at the bottom. And again, the reason we made this square and with some fillets and etc. there is so that this would lay flat on the bed. And then when we print it, everything should be as strong as we can probably make it for such a piece. And again, all we have to do is attach a piece of adhesive to the back or glue, whatever we're putting on, and we print this off, and this will be the strongest thing that we can do at this point. So let's go ahead and get this sliced and printed, and I'll be back in just a second.
And we're back outside, and here is the part that we created. So again, just a little square with a little square post on it. And again, the idea is just goes right in here. It's a little bit tighter since it is square at the edge. It's in like that. There we go. And again, we just attach some kind of adhesive here to whatever we're going to put it on, slide that back on, and we are done. So that is our slight little project for today. And again, the main thing we're trying to cover here is pay attention to the layer lines and how everything is oriented when you print it so that it comes out as strong as possible, and just make that a habit. Thanks a lot for everybody. I appreciate you watching.